Hey guys! So, how are you all doing? So, today my plan is to set up the Christmas tree, which surprisingly enough, I'm one of the last ones in my office who set up their Christmas tree, even though I love Christmas. But I guess my Italian holiday kind of made it so that I don't really feel like it's Christmas time yet. I'm still kind of stuck in the after Italy. Um, Mood, I guess. So we're gonna change that. I'm gonna set up this Christmas tree. I don't know yet whether I'm gonna be doing anything like at the same time, like listening to an audiobook, or whether I'm just gonna be listening to Christmas music to really get into the mood. But I'll probably be listening to an audiobook, but then I just don't know which one yet. Um, Hello, Larissa. Hey, Charlotte. Hello, Ewald. My plan is to be lazy and maybe read. Sounds like a perfect plan. And the laziness is gonna be like, I don't know, a TV show or something like that. Or I don't know, what else can we do? Just sitting in the sofa, listening to some music could also be really nice. Hey, Leanna. Hey, what is your actual name? I'm always unsure what your name is. Hey Cleo, so ready for some productivity sprints. I know the feeling after Venice. I never feel like Christmas. Yeah, I mean, I was really like surprised by Christmas almost, but I'm even more surprised now with Sinterklaas, which is a Dutch and like a Dutch and a Belgian holiday. They also celebrate it in parts of Germany, I think, maybe even France. And that one was really like, oh my god, it's happening Tuesday, but so we're celebrating this weekend. And I tried to get my nephew a chocolate letter, and I was too late. Hey Judith. My plan is cleaning groceries and reading. Wow, productivity. Well, I have already done groceries this morning. So I done the groceries. I filmed 2 videos. So finally, I will have some new videos go up. And what else did I do? I did something else productive. But yeah, I got all the Christmas decorations down, which I hate getting them down from my. I have them on the top of like cupboard, basically like almost like a bookshelf. It's on the top of my wardrobe. So considering I have shoulder issues, it's always a fun time getting them off, but it's even worse getting them on. So hey everyone, can't stay long because I have to help my goddaughter, but I wanted to say hello and wish you all a cozy and nice afternoon. Hopefully, indeed, it'll be a very nice and cozy time. Hello, planning to read. What are you reading? I have an arc to read, preferably before Tuesday, and I'm only 63 pages in. I have quite a bit of reading to do. What's the arc and how long is it? Because I assume it's a big one if you're saying that you still have quite a bit to go. I might read. I'm watching some YouTube because today, unfortunately, is a headache day. Oh no, that's the worst. So just cozy up with a blanket, a hot drink, and some nice booktube time. Kitty is fine for my name. Yeah, perfect. I did not do the chocolate letter, but did get some kruidnoten. So yeah, I got kruidnoten, like marzipan pigs. What else did I get? A little bit of chocolates. I got him like the guimauves. I don't know what you call that. And some like chocolate coins, you know. But yeah, the chocolate letter is kind of tradition. I always give it to him every year, and so now I didn't. But it's not tradition in Belgium. We don't actually do it normally. But I started it, and so now I feel like I always need to do it. But apparently, the letter J is a popular letter. If his name started with an I would have had 20 things that I could have bought, but the J was all sold out. I want to decorate my gingerbread house today, so also some Christmas decorations going on. I should also do that, a gingerbread house. Is it like a pre-made one? Because you can also buy like some of these kits, right? Where they you just need to like assemble and decorate, or did you do the whole thing? Because that sounds daunting to me. I'm reading book 2 of the Bear Town trilogy by Frederick Bachman, Us Against You. Still need to read Frederick Bachman. I don't think I've read Frederick Bachman. No, I don't think so. Hope you feel better soon, Liana. Yes, indeed. It's a Fire Endless, so I'm 40% in now. I don't know that one. Fire Endless. It's fantasy, I assume, if it's that big. Gingerbread house. Oh, lovely indeed. Yeah. That's like, I think it was on my Christmas like to-do list last year, and I didn't end up doing it. This year, I didn't even make a to-do list of like things I wanted to have done for Christmas. So I will have once again done nothing because I still need to make candles. Last year, I wanted to make candles and then give them out as sort of like extra little gifts to people, and then I never did it. And we'll see whether it ends up happening this year, but probably not. Considering my nephew's name also starts with a J, I can see that it is popular. Hope you feel better soon. No, it's one of those kits. Yeah, I cannot get my gingerbread to come out right for it. Yeah, I would also assume like how difficult it is. Like I would expect it to be, I don't know, too thick, too crooked, and then the assembly just becomes a horrible mess. I never made one myself, but they are so cute. I once tried like I had like the mold for like the tiny ones, the ones that you kind of put like on the rim of a coffee mug. Um, and already there, I had the issue where where they were just like too thick or crooked, and then it didn't really work. It couldn't even fit on the coffee mug at the end, so it was like, okay, nice, total fail. Yeah, it's a sequel. Ah, okay, yeah. Then I don't know it. To be fair, I don't actually know what that series is about, but I did see that the sequel was coming out. So to A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. Yeah, that's like it's one of the Goodreads Choice Awards for fantasy books, right? So that was one of the ones that you were totally on top of because you had read like 9 or so already for that category. Did you read some more in the meantime? I still need to vote for the final, but the book that I voted for in the first round got eliminated. So now I need to choose a new one. I guess it's gonna be Babel. Out of the ones that remain that I have read, that's the one that I enjoyed the most. But yeah, it wasn't an all-out success, so I also feel a little bit like unsatisfied about voting for it. Thanks. I hope to feel better tomorrow. Definitely. Let's all hope for that because headache is horrible. You totally like mess up your day. But yeah, hopefully you can at least still enjoy the day with some cozy atmosphere and that still make the best of what is a sucky situation. Um, I will make the tea from my advent calendar. The first two had a thing in them that I don't love, but they were not bad. I don't know how to write that ingredient. Perfectly fine. Was it licorice? Because, as we all know from the sprints with Sasha, we all hate licorice in our tea. Like, today, what did I get? Okay, buon respiro tisana, which I assume is a nighttime tea. So I will have my tea closer to when I'm actually gonna go to sleep. But I might actually also make myself a coffee because I did not have one yet today. So I didn't have time. I was supposed to wake up at 8, but I went to sleep between 1 and 2 last night. So 8 did not happen. And then I was only like ready to go to the grocery stores around 10 instead of between 8 and 9. So yeah, there was a little bit of a delay to my start of the day. The advent calendars are the best. Yeah, the only exception to that, in my opinion, is the puka one. So I still have the puka one on my wall here from 3 years ago, I think, at this point in time. And I still have one, two, three, four Bukatis left in it that I haven't drank yet because I mean some of them are fine. Like there's a chamomile one that I haven't drunk yet, but that will be fine. One I don't even don't know what it tastes is, but then two others are licorice ones, and one actually has like three types of licorice in it, I think. So that sounds like a nightmare, but I will finish it. In my defense, I got that advent calendar like halfway through the month in that first year, so I was always running behind, and that was part of the reason why I didn't really drink much of it because I already felt like it was a lost cause. But then, of course, I would expect that I would have finished it by now, or at least I would have even expected I would have finished it in that first year, and we're 3 years later, and I still haven't finished it. I'm having yesterday's advent calendar tea. It has anise in it, so I was procrastinating drinking it because I don't like anise, but it's not as bad as I expected. Sometimes these things can be like surprisingly okay, depending on how much of it is in a tea and like the combination with something else. Sometimes you can be surprised, but it definitely doesn't like spark an interest or like make you want to pick it up if it has something in it that you're like, I don't buy tea calendars anymore because the ones I got always only have two or three teas I really like. Puka, yes, no, yeah. I think usually it's okay with tea advent calendars, but I also like a lot of tea. I can like the only things I don't really like usually is green tea, but then it's also not a case of me really actively disliking it. It's just not necessarily my thing. So I basically love black tea the most. Um, so usually it's fine, but the puka ones, and even when the tastes interest me, I feel they're also so weak. I leave my tea bags in all the time, and with puka, even after it's steeped for like 10 minutes into a mug, I still feel like the taste is like barely there. But I do like to do it to sample the different types of teas that a certain brand has, and I last year or 2 years ago. I want to say last year. That's better for the fact that I still haven't finished this advent calendar. Last year I had the withered one, and I was quite disappointed because it had a ton of tea in it, but it didn't have much variety of tea. And so I would have loved for them to just have all of their teas in it, or just at least 24 different types of tea in that case, because they have tons of different types of tea in that shop. I have three different tea advent calendars this year. The German brands are usually quite nice, but maybe my taste is very unrefined too. Just depends, I guess. Because yeah, the Puka one. I mean, I know multiple people who hate the Puka one, so I I I will judge if somebody likes the Puka one, I guess, to some extent, because I'm like, no, I absolutely hated that one. Anise is the thing. Okay. Earl Grey. I love Earl Grey. I need to make Earl Grey cookies because those are the best. Earl Grey cookies are amazing. But so I am up to the comments, at least on this screen. So I am going to switch the camera and I'm going to start decorating. So I set the sprints for 40 minutes this time around. And I have what do you call it? A timer set up, and I'll check on my screen whether you can actually see me decorating or not, because of course half of the screen goes to this timer, but I I assume it's going to be fine. But so let's go for that sprint. Hope you guys have a productive one, and if not, that you guys have a fun one. Hey guys. So, how did you do? I assembled the tree, did the lights and the topping. I don't know what the name is in English. The peak is on there, but I just see it from this perspective now, and I'm like, wait, it's super like crooked. So I'll have to fix that. But the lights is always a struggle because I only have the one string, and every single year I think the string is too short to put lights on every single tier of the tree until I get like halfway through the tree and then like, oh wait, no, it's not too short, so I have to go and fix it kind of. So I did still have a little bit too much of the string, and I probably have a little bit too little lights at certain levels, but it's fine. Once all the ornaments are in there, it won't be visible anymore. We had somebody join as well, I think, during this. Wait. Where were we? Ah, we lost somebody, but it's fine. I'm off. Have fun, lovelies. I hope you guys have fun as well. Love the festive sweater, by the way. Yeah, it's my Christmas fairy sweater or whatever. My nephew used to have like the matching one, but yeah, that was like 4 years ago, so he grew out of it in the meantime. Hey, Chadia. I ate some chow mein and read a little bit. Ah, so you went for reading in the end. What are you reading? Did you wait? Did you mention it? I feel like you did, and like I just forgot again. Hmm. Yeah, my memory sucks. In case you didn't know yet, I started reading Lair of Dreams, the second Diviners book. I have never read the Diviners. Are you enjoying it? Is it like, because I know the Diviners is like 20s. Is Lair of Dreams the same? Is it, does it stay like in the same time periods? 20 pages a day, 5 minute. Wait, 20 pages. 20 pages a day, 5 minute nap until the timer went off. You mean you read 20 pages in the meantime? I read 3 pages. Something. It is something. Watched some videos and had the tea with some chocolates. I'm trying to remember which tea you had now. Was you were the one who had the Earl Grey, right? Yeah. So I watched some videos. Productive. I am so behind on videos. I am no longer even attempting. Schrödinger, ugh, Schrödinger's lights, both too short and just the right size until rolled rolled out. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they magically like elongate while I'm going through it. I'm reading my in-between book, De mooiste Surinaamse mythen en sagen. Nice. I lost my green marker. I have no idea where it is. I used it today and it disappeared. Yeah, indeed. The cat emoji is probably quite telling because I know that Fate at some point, a few minutes, like a few minutes before the sprints, she was chasing a pen or a marker or something like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if your cat was one of those. I'm halfway into Gods of Jade and Shadow. Nice. I did read that one already. I quite enjoyed it. Autocorrect doing stuff. I meant 20 pages and a 5 minute nap. Autocorrect loves to do that. Diviners is fun. I didn't expect it to have such a big mystery plot. The second book is set shortly after the first one, it seems. Okay. Mystery plot for me is always kind of like hit or miss. I'm behind watching videos too, yeah. Aren't we always? But at this point in time, I think it's, yeah, definitely in Italy, did like zero video watching. So then I was definitely behind a whole ton. But even since, I have barely been watching any videos recently. So I read around 50 pages, good but a bit too reminiscent of the first book. Now I'm already trying to. Did you say what you were reading? Tempted to DNF and start a fantasy book. Well, you are definitely good at DNFing, so let me see. Did you say I had the Frederick Bachman one? A bit too reminiscent of the first book, so a bit too similar. Because are there 3 books in that series or 4? Because one just came out right this year, The Winners. I think it's a Frederick Bachman book. I went back to the comments to try and find it. So I am going to assume it's a Frederick Bachman one. I still need to read Frederick Bachman, but you like the first one then, I assume, if you continued on to the second one. I don't know if you guys hear my cats, but my cats are not used to me sitting here and they are not very happy with this arrangement, clearly. I spent this sprint listening to, what is it called? It's the other Sylvain Nouvel series, A History of What Comes Next by Sylvain Nouvel. Like, yeah, this shows you nothing. I cannot show you the cover. So it's like space race, not even space race era book. It's a sci-fi. Buffy. Yeah, it's a sci-fi. And it has to do with the space race as far as I'm aware. But I really like don't know much about it. I had this book as an ARC. This is why I'm listening to it now. I had the ARC. It came out February 2021, potentially, probably. And I still haven't read it. But I am listening to it now. And so far, okay. So it's set in like the time of Nazi Germany, and like our protagonists appear to be some sort of like aliens or something like that. They're constantly going on about like they're the 97th and they're the 98, the 99, the 100, and then there are these mentions of like projects where some people are aliens and some people aren't. Um, and so during the Nazi periods, they left for the US and now they're kind of going back. Now, one of them at least is kind of going back to try and get a certain German scientist out of the country so that his research can be continued in the US. But I'm not that far in yet. So far, fine. But we'll see. I don't have any expectations because I didn't like, or I didn't like. I was disappointed by his other series, which I only read the first one. So yeah, Us Against You, Buffy, book number 2 of Beartown Trilogy by Frederick Bachman. Come, yeah. My cat is like, why are you not on the sofa? I heard about Beartown, yeah, and a man called Uva, that one, right? He just repeats so much of book 1, Beartown. Writing is good, okay. At least there's that. I have Empire of Grass, book 2 of The Last King of Austen Art by Tad Williams to read. I don't know whether I ever read a Tad Williams, because he definitely, like, his books were definitely in the library in when I was in high school. All of my fantasy reading happened through the library. Um, but for some reason, I was never really attracted to the big series, I feel like. Because, for example, Robin Hobb was always there. I could have just picked it up when I was still a teenager, but I always picked up other stuff that totally isn't famous now. But Tad Williams definitely was also there. I did start like Chronicles of Shannara by Ted Brooks at that point in time, but I never continued. So yeah, I don't think I've read a Tad Williams. Not entirely sure. Well, at least somebody loves her. She has finally given up. Unwrapping my gingerbread house should not be that difficult, and now I even need my own powdered sugar. I hope you have some, because that would be like the most disappointing thing, to be making it and then being like, oh, I don't have everything I need to. Um, but yeah, unwrapping it, I guess you need to be like super delicate about it to avoid sort of like part of the cookie crumbling away. Buffy is doing an inspection of the wait. Let me switch camera. I think you can see her there. Oh no, you can just see the tip of her tail, only barely. Okay, there you are. So she's doing the inspection of the boxes. She typically hates the setup of the Christmas tree because she kind of is upset with all the boxes and the moving and things like that. But my cats are actually pretty okay with the Christmas tree typically, except for the fact that I have some birds in my tree and they sometimes lose a beak. So unwrapping my yeah, I, I think it's a delicate operation, right? To avoid any damage to the house. You're very brave at Christmas tree with cats. I mean, they're pretty okay about it. I know that like Fate is quite inquisitive always. So it's actually weird that it's Buffy who's been inspecting now and not Fate, because Fate like loves to check out everything. Like if I leave open a door to the communal hallway, Fate will go through it. Buffy will be like, "What's that? I've never been there. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should just stay in here." Fate will be like, "Bye bye." I do have the powdered sugar, but I had bought it to make my stollen next week. I think the chat comment is in the way of the cat on screen. Oh no! Damn it! Oh, the cat is at my feet at this point in time, so cannot redo it. Ah, hello, Grinch. Nice to see you. Yes, you will have to deal with some Christmas atmosphere, but because even my timer has Chris is in the Christmas atmosphere, but there is no like ASMR room or something like that, so it's just the image of a Christmas tree you will have to deal with. Plus the meowing of my cats, because Buffy is very annoyed that I've had only a productive day so far. I have not sat down on the sofa with my cats at all. So she is upset now. She's like, give me attention. My cats are indeed named both after a vampire slayer. And I don't know whether it was a good plan to name them after two slayers that don't actually get along, but they very occasionally show affection to one another. The rest of the time, they are somewhat. They get into a lot of fights. But you have not shown your Grinch nature at all. So you were a Grinch in disguise so far. I'm not allergic to people enjoying it. I think. Well, we'll find out, I guess. You will get to know. Grinch too, then, or Slavic Grinch. Is there a Slavic Grinch as well now? We need all types of Grinches, of course. I actually hadn't seen the Grinch movie until last year when my niece came over and she was obsessed with this movie. She'd already seen it like 20,000 times, but then, of course, she still needed to watch it with me as well for some reason. But I mean, I was happy. She wanted to watch Twilight, and I said no to Twilight, which I then watched this weekend. I don't know what happened to me, but I watched all four Twilight movies and I was like, what? I was vacuuming, so I didn't didn't know the sprint ended. Yeah, I was. I need to unplug my mic. I think this time during the sprint because I was like. I walked around here quite regularly because of putting on the lights, and I'll probably still do it when I'm putting on the ornaments. And so I could check on the timer quite regularly. But then, like towards the ending, I realized that I had my headphones still plugged in, so I wouldn't even hear it when the sprint ended. And yeah, I don't want to see some of the dust gathered around here. I am planning to make this a sort of like cleaning weekends. So after the Christmas tree goes up, I can clean underneath it because yeah, it makes no sense to clean now because even though it's a fake tree, it loses a lot of needles. But yeah, I do need to then clean here afterwards, and then I'll also try to clean in some places that I should have cleaned a little bit more regularly. But underneath the bed, for example, is like always such big dust stuff. You need a Kendra. Yeah, I did. I do indeed need a third cat. She was a very short lived though, so I mean, it would be maybe a tragic story. Third cat. Slavic Grinch might be a Leshy. I don't know. I don't know Leshy. Is Leshy also part of the Grinch thing? I saw the movie once, so I don't really remember anything. I also got my, how do you call it in English? Poinsettia? Christmas rose from the store today. So I am finally really getting into the Christmas mood now because it has been on hold for a little bit. Um, but so yeah, what do you guys think about another sprint? As Sasha was saying yesterday, I asked this question and then I don't actually intend to wait for you guys to answer. So my apologies. I'm asking questions which I won't actually wait for the answer for, but I have no comments, so I will. Leshy is part of Slavic folklore. Is it like the leprechaun thingy? I I clearly need Slavic it's on. I don't know enough. True, no Kendra. Willow. I was always a big fan of her. Yeah, there's never gonna be a third cat while these two cats are here, just to clarify. But another name in that genre would then indeed be needed if I were to get another pet in this period. I know it's a Slavic creature. It's the forest spirit who plays tricks on people. Trickster. Yes, yes, Sprint. Yes, Sprint is good. How are you with your reading? You have House of Hollow to finish today, I guess, and the Amber Spyglass you were only going to start tomorrow, right? So, hoping you're on track, but if not, we can sprint now so that you can finally get that done. All right, so sprints at like okay. So let's start in 3, 2, 1. Hello. Let me switch cameras. Hello. So, how did you guys all do? I made some decent progress. I guess the Christmas tree will be done in the next sprint. Um, I do also have like some knickknacks to put around the apartment. I don't know whether I'll do that because like my shoulders are already hurting. I also have like I don't even know what you call that, like a wreath, but like not in the circular form, but like one that you kind of put on a fireplace, for example, that I typically put on top of the bookshelves. But that definitely is not happening because that always is like disaster for my shoulder, basically. But so I have 5 hours left of a history of what comes next. Um, I'm liking it so far. It's interesting. Like it's interesting trying to figure out what the deal is with these people that we're following because it seems like they kind of live multiple generations or something like that, or they pretend to die. And so they're already at the 100th generation in that sense because they've already died, pretended to die 100 times or something like that. I don't know. Let me see. Where was I? I said that too when I had two cats. Now I have four. Honestly, really, it's not a plan because I live in an apartment, so these two cats already have enough space for themselves. But four cats in an apartment, I don't know. That would be very busy. Plus, imagine all those litter boxes. Willow and Tara for a later duo, potentially. The previous one was called Delilah, so there was absolutely no link with Buffy in that case. And I don't know, maybe like Miss Kitty Fantastico, the kitten that Willow and Tara have at some point. That would also be a great name. 30% left of House of Hollow, so that was before the sprint, so I'm guessing you're even closer at this point in time. You absolutely can do this. Sprints, yes. Okay, gingerbread scare. Oh no. For a second I thought I put the front door at the back of the house, but turns out it's a gingerbread tunnel. A gingerbread tunnel. There's a tunnel through the house or what? Took a shower and I'm now at 80%. You absolutely have got this. At what time is the live show? Like, do you have much reserve still? Is it like at 6:30 as usual or like 7 maybe? Because then then you're definitely going to do it because I guess you just need like one more sprint or something like that and then you'll be done. Hello, hello. I read 26 pages. It's like I was gonna say that's more or less what I do, but it's more or less what I potentially do in like 45 minutes. So in 40 minutes, probably. You're probably a little bit faster than I typically am. No reading done, just looked at sewing ideas. So many ideas, but I'm scared of starting any of them. So what are you looking for? Like, or is it like everything still an option? Are you looking for something in terms of clothing or something in terms of an accessory? Are you looking at like different types of sweaters or are you absolutely looking at every single possibility at this point in time? I wish I could do it, but I really wasn't that handy with the sewing machine. I did like quilting patchwork for a little bit, but I really wasn't that great at it neither. I still have tons of fabric from that time, but I should actually just get rid of them because they're just taking up space, and I don't even own a sewing machine. It was just my mother's. 7 p.m. Yeah, you definitely have time. You have time to finish it and still like chill a little bit as well and process your thoughts before the live show itself. Clean some more. Wow, you are really productive in terms of the cleaning today. Your vacuum cannot even keep up with you. It needs charging. So groceries it is. Yeah. Yeah. I I'll do some more cleaning today, I guess. I also wanted to say, like, I need to do some reading, but in principle, I'm doing some reading now. The only thing is that it feels as if I'm not doing any reading just because I don't have this book on my TBR for this month. So it feels like I'm not being productive at all. So for this weekend, actually, I need to finish an arc that I'm reading ghost music, but I am, I think, 67% or so in that. And I typically got to like, I typically read like, I don't know, 15% or something on my commute. So if I just, I don't know, do like 1 hour of reading, I should be able to finish it tomorrow. But yeah, I should still do that because it is my intention to finish that book this weekend. And initially, I guess my plan was also to finish Strange Beasts of China, which was actually on my November TBR, but that probably won't get done this weekend. Finished the gingerbread house. Now I have so much glaze left. I need to find cookies to decorate those, or just, eat it just like that. But I guess that is like so sickly sweet. We are at our dad's house, and Sinterklaas came to visit, and we got some gifts. Nick got a domino stone train, and I got some bullet journal stickers. Nice, and lots of candy, I assume. I have three different fabrics and a vision for each, but no patterns or anything, and a weird figure with too much hips. So I need to find a way to get the sizing right before I can start. See, that is also the difficulty. Like, yes, with sewing, of course, you can personalize so much, but like, I wouldn't even know how to. I mean, it's also because I never really spend any effort into learning how, of course. Read about 50 pages more. I mean, I'm already surprised that you didn't even finish the book in that sprint. That's really my impression of your reading pace at some points. Is ghost music good? Ghost music, it's difficult to explain, I feel like. Like, I like it. It's also super weird, yet it's also very normal in parts as well. Like, it feels normal for most of the parts of it, and then you have like weird mushroom scenes in which you're just like, what? What is happening here? um but I am liking it. I do like the feel of it, the atmosphere of the book. um and but it's the type of book where you're like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, because you're like, it's not necessarily character focused. It's definitely not plot focused. It isn't neither necessarily atmospheric. Yeah, it is. I guess it is. It's just vibes. But I am enjoying it. I haven't read anything else. But I think it's Anu, right? The name, and she is the author of Braised Pork, which is another book that I had my eye on when it came out years ago. So that one I am interested. Like, it'll depend, I guess, on the ending of Ghost Music, but I am interested in trying that one out now because I did enjoy it, and it's another Chinese piece of literature, and I want to read more Chinese literature, so that would be perfect. I don't remember whether I said anything funny there. Maybe it's about the reading pace of Paramita. My reading pace is, I don't keep track of my pages and suddenly I'm done. That is a healthy way to go about it. I keep track of my page count, and then I am somewhat annoyed with myself. I don't get to the 100 a day or something like that, which is a goal for next year, to not aim for 100 pages a day, because I don't need to read 100 books a year. Like, this, to be fair, like, I'd never set myself a reading goal in terms of how many books I should be finishing, but I have read 99 books now, so when I finish Ghost Music, that'll be my 100. But I don't need to be reading that much, and I kind of want to slow down my reading a little bit and see whether that helps with my memory issue. Um, but maybe it won't help at all. For a second, I thought Ghost Music was about music made by the band Ghost. No, I don't even know what Ghost Music is. I cannot even explain what Ghost Music is about. The most boring explanation for that I can give is a couple is basically living together in sort of like peaceful harmony up until the point in which the mother of the guy in the relationship joins their household, and that creates tension. Plus, they mysteriously receive mushrooms every day. But yeah, I am quite enjoying it. But it is a type of book that you can that I can never recommend because it's like, yeah, like, who do I recommend this to? People who like weird books. If you like weird books, then Ghost Music will be for you, but it's also not super weird. Strange Beast of China, for example, is super weird. Like, I've only read the first part of it, and I was just like, what am I reading? But I'm hoping that that will become more normal, not really normal, but that I will understand a little bit more of like what the book is actually about, because I think it's a case where like a lot of it is underneath the surface. A lot of it is like referring to Chinese politics. Um, and so I'm not like, I can kind of see that, but not fully enough. I cannot fully understand the deeper layers yet, and I'm hoping that that will still come. I'm at 88 books a year, and I also am going to aim for less and watch more TV again. Like I said yesterday, I need to binge all the Marvel stuff. Yeah, I actually am debating like creating a challenge for myself: 52 movies in 52 weeks. So last year, and I think already the year before, I like spontaneously at times tried to create a sort of idea of Friday movie nights. Friday being an evening in which I wouldn't be reading any books, in which I would just be watching a movie, relaxing, and all of those things. And I never really kept up with that. I barely watched any movies 2 years ago. This year, a little bit better. Um, but even then, this year, the best month was August, because then I went to the cinema every week. Then I bought my cinema ticket in advance so that I would go on Friday. No excuse. But so for 2023, I kind of want to challenge myself to do 52 movies in 52 weeks. And then maybe, like, I don't know, do sort of like video about it as well every, I don't know how many movies, to keep myself accountable. Because I used to watch movies all the times. I watched movies and TV shows all the times, and now I just cannot do it. And TV shows, I don't think I'll challenge myself to that, because I am just bored of TV shows so quickly now. There's so many series that I watch the first two episodes of, and then I just never continue. So I don't think I need to do it with TV. Though what I had started to do, which I might also want to challenge myself, is to watch something Spanish every week. So I was watching a Spanish TV show, and I do still want to continue with it. And so maybe that is also a challenge, but then I'm putting too much challenges in there again, whereas it should just be something that naturally happens. But yeah, we'll see. I'm at 150 books, 115 books this year, and I am still at the point that I could make those top 13 posts. Wait, and I'm still at the point that I could make those top 13 posts for movies and TV shows. You're an inspiration. I absolutely, like, I'm such a slow reader that in order to get to 100 books, yeah, all of my time needs to go into reading, you know? Like, when people ask me, "Oh, how do you read so much?" It's like, I just put so much time into reading. I I'm not a fast reader at all, so that's the only way for me to do it. Good challenge. Yeah, I am kind of looking forward to it. I do kind of feel like I need a sort of like base lists to make for myself then, because otherwise the risk is like being stuck on Netflix for hours trying to figure out which movie I'm going to watch that time. The only thing I know for sure is I'm going to finally watch Parasite. I read 160 books so far. Wow. The only new TV show I watched is Rings of Power, and I have no desire left to watch anything else. I watched Rings of Power. Yeah, I watched it. But I did watch Loki and Hawkeye this year. I also watched mm, the Winter Soldier thingy. Did I watch another TV? Yeah, I'm like 2 episodes into Moon Knight, but that's like that was before I left for Italy, and I I that was me being on track with my Marvel rewatch, and then I completely stopped again. And my Disney, like my sister's Disney's subscription, is ending somewhere this month, so I probably won't continue. 81 books, but that's only possible because of audiobooks as well. Because of audiobooks, yeah. But if you create a habit with a challenge is good. Sure, definitely. The only TV show I saw this year was House of the Dragon. I don't know whether I want to see House of the Dragon. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't care enough about it. Okay, I just moved the pumpkins that were still outside the house. Yeah, let's start the countdown for next Halloween, indeed. But I will personally not be skipping Christmas. I've read lots of manga, so that helps. Yeah, I mean, sure. I do have quite a few long ones in there this year, and definitely, if I were reading certain other things, it would be more. But yeah, more isn't necessarily the goal neither, you know. And it's also not for you. You just really love to read manga, but I just have the annoying case where the things that I like to read are very thick fantasies or challenging general fiction. I'm at 300 plus books because I'm not working, so I read all day or watch BookTube, which motivates me to read more. Like, I mean, I know you're extremely fast reader, but I need to ask a question, but I think I already know the answer. Are you counting DNFs in that? I'm guessing not even. So 300 books plus all the stuff that you've DNF'd. I mean, I cannot understand how fast your brain works. I watched all the Marvel series, so yeah. So yeah, I'm stuck in Marvel at Moon Knight. I don't know what else comes after that. And yeah, maybe I should continue Moon Knight so I can watch like the multiverse of madness movie. Um, Winter Soldier was so bad. That's where I stopped. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like horrible, but it didn't interest me at all, you know. So it definitely was one that I kind of had to get through in order to get to Loki, which I then really, really enjoyed a whole lot. I haven't read any manga and have FOMO. I used to, but I've read like maybe like five mangas or something like that. With manga, I don't know, because it's expensive for what it is, so I always feel like, and it's over before I know it. So because I have so little reading time, I always feel like I shouldn't put it to manga, and also because I just don't want to buy like 30 a 30 book manga series, you know, and have that take up my entire shelf without TNFs. Yeah. I assumed as much in awe. I do not count the One Piece and Boku no Hero Academia. I read the chapters as they came out. I am impressed. 300 plus, even if you don't work, is still very, very impressive. Definitely, it's always impressive. I like, but for the people who don't read much, also like my colleagues are always in awe of me, even when I wasn't reading 100. You know, so I tell them all the time, like, yeah, but I'm nothing on BookTube because there are many people who read like 300 and things like that. But even compared to a lot of other people, 150 20 can even be a ton of books, but 300, yeah, I even cannot fathom it. But it is all a case of perspective, I guess, because like 10 years ago I would have never thought that I could get to 100 books a year. I did like 75 at one point before booktube, and then there was mainly romance novels, but then I really felt like I'd like stretched myself to the most extreme, but I was also still watching movies and TV shows. I'm on the minority that liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it won my heart with the inclusion of Isaiah Bradley. Is that the guy who is also in Alias? The guy who I know from the TV show Alias? Because then, yes, I also really liked him being in there. But it is 10 past. Time for another reading sprint. Time for Sasha to finish House of Hollow so that she can talk about it in a live show afterwards. So let me share the timer again. All right. Three, two, one. Hey guys! So I finished my tree and I also put some of the knickknacks up. I mean, I put all my knickknacks into my bookshelves in the end, more or less all of them. Like I have some tea light holders that are at the TV, and then like maybe like three things that are on my liquor cabinet. So I am more or less done, which is not true because I still have the thing that needs to go up on top of the bookshelves. But I'm not doing that today. The only thing that I will still do today is kind of move those boxes back to the um, guest bedroom, I guess, or like the bureau. I don't know how do you say it in the office, to the office. But I'm not getting putting those boxes on top of the wardrobe neither today. I'll do that tomorrow when my shoulders had some time to rest. I mean, it was okay. Like, I think if I ever get a new Christmas tree, it will have to be the exact same height as this one because any higher and I would have to force my shoulder a little bit to be able to decorate it. But it is done. I am happy. It's always a little bit of a struggle towards the end because I always feel like I don't have any branches left anymore to put ornaments on. So, but I don't think I added an ornament this year. So I've been a good girl this year. Normally, every year I add stuff to the tree, but I think I'm good now, except for the fact that I saw like this is more for the duchies. I saw like a what was his name? Teki Taki, the dog from Annie and His Schmitz. I saw that they have ornaments of him in the Hema and as well of the cat, and I'm like, I might want that. But so far, I'm going to make sure that I stay in decent, like I don't over exaggerate with my Christmas ornaments. I think I was here. I think my problem was that I loved Captain America, so I'm not a big fan of Captain America neither. So yeah, the only I kind of liked Bucky in the Winter Soldier show, but not enough. And I would have also liked for it to be an actual romance story. It would have worked. Reading was my solace to keep negative thoughts out. It really helped me stay afloat mentally. I'm glad you had something like that to keep you going, and also just like such a nice balm to the soul reading can be. House of Hollows was 3 stars for me. Okay. I mean, I haven't read it. Started my second year with the intention of doing all of the Howling Pack books and all of the Of Queens, Witches, and Valkyries books. I've done the Of Queens, Witches, and Valkyries books and like two Howling Pack books, I think. But I will definitely do the Howling Pack books in 2023. Happy reading or working. Yeah, second that. Also very happy you found something that was helpful. Had to check, but yeah, Carl Lumbly was in Alias. Okay, so Isaiah was the name of the character within the show. I thought you meant like an actor's name. But I had been waiting for that character to make an appearance since Truth, Red, White, and Black came out. I don't know. Is that like a comic book or is that also a show? Because I've never heard of it. Have fun. I have to go. The tree is looking great. Thank you. Finished. Well done. You have, like, at that point in time, you still had like 2 hours and a quarter to spare. Perfect. You deserve that walk right now, and your dogs have been waiting, I'm sure. I did groceries, sat down to drink something, and cleaned some more. I mean, wow. It's like the big annual clean or what? Like, I never get that much cleaning in a day done. I'm not Christmassy overall. The only ornaments I want are the Star Trek ones. I mean, you could make a whole Star Trek tree. That would be amazing. No, just saying. Done with Us Against You. That was the second Bachman, right? So in the end, you didn't DNF. So 6 out of 10 for me. Starting Kindred by Octavia E. Butler now. Preparing to have my soul crushed. I've not read an Octavia E. Butler yet, so I'm definitely hoping to do that in 2023. Um, but yeah, I didn't know. Like, is Butler always soul crushing, or is it like that particular one? Because while I've seen many people reading her works recently, like in the past year and a half, maybe, I don't think I've heard too many people say stuff like that yet. And what is that sound coming from over there? I'm afraid the cat is doing something they're not supposed to. Yeah, it's a comic book. Kindred is so good. I did a reading vlog for it earlier this year. Yeah, it's definitely one that I have an interest in, and also like the Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents one, because Emily from Books with Emily really enjoyed that one a whole ton. Yeah, I listened some more to A History of What Comes Next. I have like 4.5 hours of that to go. I'll probably have it be like my commute book. However, next week is Slavicathon. I am challenging myself to read 5 books for that, which is challenging. So I don't know whether whether I will listen to it in the course of next week, because that might like upset my Slavicathon TBR, you know? Um, and I just realized that that was one of the videos I had to film today. So I filmed 2 videos, but it's not my Slavicathon TBR. So I have to film my Slavicathon TBR tomorrow morning then. Um, when am I going to do some editing? Weekends are so short, way too short, way too short. And then Slavicathon will be there, and I also won't have much time to edit. So, BookTube Live. That's awesome to hear about Kindred, I assume. Have you read any? I think so. You read something, yeah. The Earth Through Duology, Parable of Sower and Talents is excellent in my opinion, especially the first book. Yeah. And I've heard that, like, so Emily from Books with Emily said that even though it was supposed to be a trilogy, the second book has a satisfying ending and it doesn't make you feel like you're leaving stuff on a cliffhanger or something like that. I use this print for editing, but not quite done yet. Weekends are too short. Yeah, weekends are too short, and I definitely like need something like maybe a ring light or something like that. Because in these times when the light is gone, like before I'm back from work, I just cannot do any filming during the week. So all the filming would need to get done during the weekends. And then last weekend I didn't even do that. So yeah, it's not great for my booktuber productivity if I don't have many opportunities to sit down and film. So uh, one day, but I say this every year that I should get a ring light for this exact reason, and still I never do. Um, what do you guys say? So it is 5 o'clock now. I know quite a few of you will be going to Sasha's live show at 7, so I think this should be about our last sprint. So we just do one more sprint of about 40 minutes, and then we do a little bit more chatting, and so then we'll be done before 6, and then, everybody can go and have their dinner or whatever, and then the people who want to join Sasha's live show for House of Hollow will have had a nice break in between. Obviously, you're allowed to leave earlier and take a longer break, but I think I'm gonna do it like that, and then I will. I don't know what I'm gonna do this evening because I kind of feel like just having a relaxing evening. But I also said I was gonna clean, but now I don't want to anymore. But so I'm gonna set up the final timer. I'll put up the banner as well, I guess, to say that this is the final sprint, right? Eh, final sprint. Yes. Wow, that's so humongous. Can this banner not? Can I not make that smaller? No, apparently not. Okay. Humongous banner it is. Okay. See, sprint and chatting. Yes, sounds great. I want to go see the tractor. Oh, you have the tractor parade today. It's nice. I'll be relaxing with Kindred. I mean, if you're just starting it, I'm sure it's still gonna be like. I mean, I don't know, because considering the subject matter, it might not be relaxing at any point in the book. Hey, Barbara, I just saw this. No worries. We're gonna go into the final sprint now. So you definitely still have a sprint to be productive with us or just chill. I am gonna finally move over into the sofa. My cats will be very, very happy. I have decorated the Christmas tree now, so Christmas tree is fully in operation and I can finally be fully in Christmas mode. And I was currently listening to, I cannot remember this title, how to what is the title? Where are you scripts? No, a history of what comes next. So I'm listening to that, but I think for this one I'm going to continue reading Ghost Music, my arc. So enough chatting now. Let's go for that final sprint in three, two, one, go. Hello, guys. So, how did you all do for that final sprint? Let me just remove that banner. All right. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of falling asleep there, which doesn't bode well because I do still want to do stuff today. It's not even 6, but I did have a late night last night because I was at friends and I only got back between 1 and 2 at night, so I have not had much rest. I think I was here. Nice. So happy for you. We are planning on putting up our Christmas tree today too. Yay! Like, I think a lot of people in Belgium also will be putting up their Christmas tree now. Though it is a little bit like controversial to do it now because we still have Sinterklaas on the 6th of December. But I think because it's a Tuesday, probably a lot of families will also already be putting it up now rather than waiting until like what is it, next weekend, the 10th or 11th, because that's already like relatively late, I guess. I mean, definitely there are a lot of people who put their Christmas trees up later, but I weirdly enough was super late this year compared to a lot of people when I'm like, wait, it's why does everybody put their Christmas tree up before November? Usually I am so early. Hey Daniela, I see I'm late. Yeah, you still got a little bit of that sprint, luckily, and then definitely I'll still have sprints at some point in the future as well. In 2 weeks' time, I have 2 weeks off, and then I might do some sprints during that period as well. But it'll be like impromptu, just as these were. I thought about doing these. I was thinking about doing these like Thursday. I was thinking like maybe I'll do them on Friday, but then on Friday, I was going to see some friends, and then that didn't make sense, and so I was like, yeah, okay, let's just wait to put up the Christmas tree till Saturday, and then I can do it on sprints. I used the sprint to start uploading a video. Nice. I should actually edit, but I kind of feel like playing a game now. Age of Empires, but Age of Empires has been doing me dirty. Last time I spent 2.5 hours on it, making no progress. Wait, I accidentally skipped. This was perfect timing. I'm just done with all the editing stuff. Nice. Another reminder that I really, really, really should edit because I didn't have a video go up this week yet. So, okay, not great. My parents always put up Christmas tree on December 24th. Yeah, I don't think anybody does that in Belgium, but like I read a book once which was set in the UK where they also did it like that. I don't know whether there are certain countries where that maybe is more of a tradition. I've seen it in like Christmas movies as well that they do. Sorry, that they do that, but I don't actually know anybody who does it. But I just want my holiday spirit as early as possible, so I could not wait until the 24th to do it. I think if you have a real tree, then now would be a bit early. Possible, yeah. Like a real tree might lose too many needles then to stick around until that point in time. That is indeed a fair point. I'm allergic to Christmas trees. I have been since I was a young child, so I have not had a real Christmas tree for over 2 decades, probably. No, maybe not. I think probably around 7 or 8 years old is probably when they discovered that I was allergic to Christmas trees. So 15 years or so without an actual real Christmas tree. Kindred takes off from the get-go. It's good, but something is missing for me compared to Parable of the Sower or even Dawn. In terms of like the scope of it, or in terms of like the voice, the authorial voice, the writing, or anything like that. Um, all I'm saying is the Icelandic Christmas tradition is a true goal. True, true. I knew of it for a few years already, but yeah, I usually celebrate Christmas Eve with one of my friends, and we just do a movie night instead. We usually have cheese fondue, which I will still have even though I'm lactose intolerant. That's the use of lactate pills, I guess, or maybe like a wine and cheese night, and then we will just watch some movies, I guess. Um, compared to reading. Like she is a reader to some extent. She's not as prolific as me, I guess, and I don't know whether she would be up for the idea of just like spending our evening in silence together reading a book. You are right. We always had a real tree. It was a real pain in the ass after a week or two. Yeah, I mean, this one loses its fake needles when you put it up and when you stow it away, but at least while it's there, unless one of my cats were to want to attack it, it's gonna stay relatively like it won't be you losing any sort of needles or anything like that, luckily. The scope, it feels a bit artificial. Yeah, I don't actually know the premise for her other works. So I don't know whether it's like the whole sort of like time travel part of it that makes it feel a little bit more artificial compared to some of her other works, maybe. It sounds interesting, Kindred, though, but so I will definitely still give it a go. But yeah, um, that's always, of course, the case when you're gonna read multiple books by the same author. They're not always gonna all hit, you know. Um, as when I was filming today, I was also talking about how I'm in a slump with Brandon Sanderson and how I need him to write something that's going to get me out of my slump with him. So here's hoping for some of those secret books in 2023 to do it for me. I was almost going to say 2024, but that's some tea because I'm actually also only expecting to have that feeling again when Stormlight 4 hits. Movie's good too. Yeah. Like maybe we should really do the Christmas movie thing, but I don't know if she's not really a Christmas movie type of person. But yeah, we'll see what we end up watching then. But I'm already looking forward to it. Cheese, cheese. I love cheese. So what did I read? I read a little bit in Ghost Music, so I am 80% in at this point in time. It's gone from weird to weirder at this point in time. Like now we're completely in the weird mushroom phase of this book. So I'm not entirely sure I am like following along to this weirdness. Like I'm understanding why things are happening like this. Nope. At this point in time, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going along with it. It's not like it's bad or anything like that. It's just like weird, as I said. It's just weird, and I'm just going along. But it's not because I don't really understand why it's going this weird. I'm like, okay, fine, you do you, but it's not fully working for me. Um, the Icelandic Christmas tradition is on Christmas Eve. They all give each other books, and then that evening they all spend that evening to read the book that they have just been given. So it's just a cozy evening together while reading. So that does sound perfect. You're getting four secret books while we Rothfuss fans are yet to get one chapter. I mean, you choose your horses. Is that how you say it? You choose your horses. Maybe you don't say it like that, but yeah, it's your choice to be a Patrick Rothfuss fan compared to a Brandon Sanderson fan. To be fair, Brandon Sanderson is also just like I fell in love with his Mistborn over a decade ago, and I do love Mistborn and a lot of his other works that I've read in the meantime. But as I said recently, I've just been on a downward spiral with some of his works, and even with Stormlights, sometimes I feel like it's a lot of the same. Like certain types of characters pop up in all of his works. And so that's kind of what I had when I read too much Dickens, when I read too much Murakami. So I'm hoping that I'm getting out of that slump with Sanderson at some point. And I would definitely love for Sanderson to, you know, write better physical disability representation. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see whether I'm still as whether I can continue calling him like one of my favorite authors in a few years' time, because maybe this slump is a real slump and maybe I'm just like falling out of love with his writing. But so far, yeah, the ones that I've absolutely loved, I can reread without any problems, and I'll still be like, ah, I love these characters, I love this plot. I'm not jealous, I'm fine. Yeah, I mean, you just need to find another one, somebody else who writes a lot more, a lot quicker, who can like pass you over in the time that you're waiting for Rothfuss to exchange books, read them, and eat. Ah, chocolate. That part I'd forgotten about. Beautiful tradition indeed. I never read Sanderson, but maybe with him the quality suffers for the quantity. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of a possibility. Like in part with Skyward, I feel like because of he was doing a collaboration with another author, and so I kind of feel like that immediately means that he didn't necessarily put as much time and effort himself into those books, because he kind of discussed them with another author and let the other author kind of elaborate the vision that they worked out together. And that can be perfectly fine, but clearly I don't like that way of working as much as I like it when he himself is taking care of the entire process. So you know, that way I don't really like the news of him working together with another author in the future as well, because I'm like, no, like just keep the Cosmere smaller. If you don't have the time to write all of these books, don't bring new authors in, just keep the Cosmere smaller to just what you are able to write. But yeah, that's just my preference. I always prefer for things to stay reasonable and small, and you shouldn't. That's not what you're getting with Brandon Sanderson, and so I've kind of been roped into this massive multiverse. I kind of feel where I just started with Mistborn, not knowing anything about the fact that he had other works, not knowing anything about the concept of the Cosmere. But yeah, like I do still love the Cosmere. I'm just hoping to kind of fall back in love with it again. I guess I'm a little bit like with Marvel, a little bit at that point where it's like it's too much, But hopefully those secret books can help me out. I have not looked into them. I don't know what they're about. I don't know whether they're Cosmere books. I don't know. I don't really know their titles. Have a vague idea of their covers, and I'm really looking forward to that way of experiencing his works, of like really diving in without any prior knowledge, because I feel like in recent years with Brandon Sanderson we've known so much in advance, and I just want to go in without any expectation again. Hope it gets better. Sanderson, come on. Yeah, definitely when it comes to his physical disability representation, but for some of them it's just like ruined now, for Stormlight he cannot revert the decisions he's made early on, which vex me, but I still love Stormlight in spite of those scenes. So, but yeah, hopefully in like Mistborn Era 3, Mistborn Era 4, he can put some disability representation in there. That would be nice. And I'm really looking forward to seeing whether he will ever continue with the Emperor's Soul. However, I really love the Emperor's Soul, so maybe it's better for him to never touch it again and just leave it the way that it currently is. But this whole sabotaging myself now. This whole Brandon Sanderson rant aside, I think I'm gonna more or less round off these reading sprints. Thank you so much, guys, for showing up and decorating my tree with me. I hope you guys had some productive times, but especially also some chill, fun times and cozy times sitting around my Christmas tree. And yeah, I will potentially still host some more reading sprints within the month of December, as I said. And so I'll hopefully plan them out a little earlier than I did this time around. Hopefully, won't just set the timer, set the broadcast up like a few hours before I'm actually gonna do it. Hopefully, I'll at least give you like a day's notice or something like that. But so yeah, thank you guys for joining, and see you guys next time. Bye.